Well, greetings, Series 7 test takers. This is the Series 7 Guru coming to you from my studio here in fabulous Las Vegas. It's Monday. Hope you'll be able to join us for Two for Tuesday tomorrow. The twofer is the Series 7 Guru, aka Dean Tenney, and the Test Geek, aka Brian Lee. We'll be hosting our weekly community live stream Q&A. Bring any questions that you may have. This is a question somebody submitted, but it's easier just to do this in video format rather than doing it live stream because it would take up 10, 15 minutes of our hour live stream. But feel free to submit. There's a link for the live stream. You can, the chat is operable. You can just hit the chat and put in your question, and the questions that are submitted early get taken care of. You're at the front line, so to speak. So you have any questions you'd like us to talk about tomorrow for all FINRA and NASA exams, just either join us live or submit and then join us live for your questions. All right, let's get this one done. Now, the best free supplement to your paid study materials is my YouTube channel. There are 6 separate Series 7 playlists. There's over in the options playlist, Series 7 option playlist, there's 22 videos. I think might be 1 or 2 more than that by the time we get this, with carve outs for just spreads and all kinds of different things. So, but as a paid supplement, if you don't already have a Kaplan Q Bank, I highly recommend it as a paid supplement to whatever study materials you have. The Kaplan Q Bank is the best in the business, in my opinion. With my Guru 10 discount code, which works on all Kaplan products and services, you can get a Series 7 Kaplan Q Bank for about $60. All right, so question ID, by the way, shout out to Kaplan. Kaplan allows members, viewers, subscribers to get free looks at Kaplan questions. And so if we explicate any question, but if it's Kaplan, it's easier. You just can send me the QID like this test taker did, and you don't have to cut and paste. I can just bring it up. All right, so in early April, a customer buys one XYZ October 60 call and sells one XYZ July 70 call at 4. Now, there's a lot of ways to go about things, but I suggest you have some kind of a process. And if you have a process, you're less likely to kind of make mistakes on this. So one thing I like to do is when I have a multiple option strategy, is I like to stack my strikes. What I mean by that is I'm going to put buy one XYZ October 60 call 49. And then I'm going to put my leg. If it was a 50 call, I'd put it below that. And if it's a 65 call, I'll put it above. It's a 70 call, so I'm going to put that above there. That's 70 calls. I'm going to sell that. Sell one XYZ July 70 call. For 4. Yeah, let's put that there. So what I'm doing here is I'm selling the 70 calls. The conversation isn't testable. So what's testable is, can you recognize that this is a spread? Now, what I like to do is once I realize it's spread means difference. So if we were talking like a football game, I say, what's the spread tonight? That's the difference in the scores, right? And somebody who's going to make a bet either wants it to be within the spread or outside of the spread. And that's what spread means, the difference in the scores. You're betting on the difference here. Spread always means difference. So we're always going to net. And so what I would do is net this. By the way, I would do all the preliminary work before I do anything. So this is going to be dollars out. And that is going to be, the 4 is going to be dollars in. So I have when I net those two numbers, I am out 5 points. So this is a debit spread. So I've identified it as a spread. I've determined that it's a 5-point debit spread. And once I determine that that's a 5-point debit, I know my loss. I say, okay, well, I spent 5 points establishing the spread. I got more dollars out than in. So it looks like what I'm going to want is to be able to bring in more than that. So, I think that when we have debit spreads, customer realizes a profit. Remember, in a debit spread, do the do. And what that means in a debit spread is we want to be able to exercise. Yeah, I have a choice to buy at 60 and an obligation to sell at 70. So yeah, that definitely sounds bueno. If these contracts get exercised, that would be it. Now, there is a little bit of a problem here. I'm not sure that's going to be an issue with answering this question. But you see here, I have a July 70 call for 4. Oh, no, I'm okay. And I bought the October. So it looks like I'm okay on that. Anyways, when you're wide like Dean, you need to exercise. So we're going to want the difference in these two numbers to get larger. That's the hardest part for people to, sometimes get. But, if we were looking at a T, let's just get a T fired up here. When I did this spread, we paid 9 for the 60 call. I like to use dollars out versus dollars in. So let's put that there. And let's make that red to signify it's money out. And let's put this dollars in. And we'll put that in green. For some people like pluses or minuses, or whatever works. I would tell you, if you're using some shortcut on sophisticated option strategies, the shortcut may or may not work. The T always works. It's reliable under any circumstances. So let's see, we paid for the 60 call 9. Boom. And we brought in 4 points. That's kind of cool. We lowered our out-of-pocket cost to 5. And it's easier to have 5 points of volatility than it is to have 9 points of volatility. So I'm net out-of-pocket 5. So that was the difference when I established this spread. That's what I've established this for. So this is the difference in the premiums. Whoop, let's get rid of that. So when I go to unwind it, right? When I go to unwind it, so that was the difference. When I go to do this, close this out, remember, I'm going to do the offset. Make a different color here. And so when I close this all out, I'm going to need to have more than 5, right? So if I can close this out and I have a net difference, money back in of 7, I make 2. If the difference is 9, I make 3. Or excuse me, I make 4. So that's what we mean by white when we go to offset this. Let me just clean this up. So boom. The difference was 5. So remember, here I did an opening purchase, so I'd be doing a closing sale. There I did an opening sale, so I'd be doing a closing purchase. And again, what we're referring to is this difference. And so now if I go to have these two numbers, I need these two numbers to be, let me just get a little better here. I need those two numbers to be more than 5. Hardest part to get, don't need to get it. Okay, so pre-tax profit. Let's see what our choices are here. So we've done our homework here, kind of a setup. Let's see what our choices are. The customer realizes widen. There we go. Debit exercise widen. So there's our answer. Boom. Price decreases? No, because the dominant position here is long a call. And remember, the dominant leg is always the larger premium. So the larger premium is 9. That's a long call, and that's bullish. So see, the price stays the same. No, you're either buying or selling volatility. Let me clean up my slide here. You're either buying or selling volatility. And here you're buying volatility. Volatility is your friend. If it's a credit spread, then you're selling volatility. Again, not testable, but all the speculative strategies, you're either buying volatility or you're selling volatility. Here I'm buying upward volatility. So I need at least 5 points of volatility up to cover my out-of-pocket costs. So C isn't true. Narrows. No, that means it gets difference. If it narrows, the difference now is 5, but if it narrows and gets smaller to 3, I lose 2. It goes to 1, I lose 4. By the way, the most it can narrow to is 0. If the stock is 60 or less, both contracts would expire and the difference would be 0. So it would have gone from 5 to 0 and I lose all 5 points. So that's not going to be good. Hardest part to get, as I said, don't need to get it. So hope you'll join us for our live stream Tuesday. Hope you found that helpful. If you have any kind of a question you need some help on, just again, forward it. We're more than happy to do a little video explication like this for you and put it on either the Reddit or take care of it in the live stream, whatever the appropriate venue would be. That's partly based on how long we think it might take us to cover it in live stream versus knocking it out earlier and sending you the video clip. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Remember, inch by inch, your Series 7 is a cinch. Yard by yard, your Series 7 is hard.